morning. I'm going to do a walkabout this morning and kind of show you what I planted yesterday. And we'll do that now. I've been sitting here at the pool and watching the fish so around. And I've got my cup of coffee with me. And I'm going to do some walking and talking. Okay, well, I'm going to come around over here. Now, this is all lettuce. I got my lettuce planted. It looks like I got it in there pretty thick, but I can start eating that for long. I could eat it now, but nice lettuce. And here now, I've been using baskets, any I can find. See, I've got one here and one here. I got those at Dollar Tree. And what is happening is, down below, and I'm sure it would be any of these big box planters or small box, mice will go in from the underside. They'll come up. Now here's some tulips right here. They'll come up and they will eat these tulips. And here's another one. I didn't put these in a basket, I don't believe. No, that's no basket. What you're hearing is my garbage man. It seems like every time I get out here to do something, some big noise happens. Anyway, I will be putting vegetables in these boxes, and actually I love these boxes. Just love them. I'm so glad I bought them. They're the high 32 inch. And then I made this little plastic dome thing out of I bought this stuff in a big roll and tied it up here, and I can put plastic over it, or I can put some netting, bird netting, or just netting. I've even put a shower curtain over it. Okay, now here's the other box. Okay, here's some more daffodils, and there's something in this here that's not showing. There's a few strawberries, and that's radishes, and two kind of radishes, breakfast and the garden radish. And this is one of those flowers, you know, that looks like a Shasta daisy. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it just stays there all winter and comes back. And these are, of course, peppers. I'm curious to see if these will come back. They say they're perennial, so I'm just curious to see if they will come back. Okay. I hadn't really started my work on my pond. I like to put plants around it if I can keep the ducks from eating it all. Now that looks like little bubbles up there. That's frog eggs or fish eggs. I don't know which it is. But I love my frogs. I want my frogs to come back. Okay. I'm gonna walk on around here. Y'all seen me go through this gate before. It would be good to have a third hand. But I've already got the bird feed out. My husband did that already. And he's got my greenhouse open. I've got to clean that out again. And these are my mini greenhouses. But yeah, and over here, I'm just started using this dirt. I was going to save it and plant, but right now I'm going to use it. And this come out of my composter. Out of this composter. And this is kitchen waste, leaves, and other plants that, you know, that have died. Turn it around. You can hear it flip over. And I'll show you. See what's in there? Eggs, shells, leaves, Any and everything. Anything out of the kitchen. Let me lock her back down. Just keep critters. This is the best way to keep rats and critters out. And this is some plants that I'm going to plant up in the front. Just bought a variety of them. They're extremely expensive, which just blows my mind. And this is, I've shown this. This is my worm box. And every once in a while I open it, put a little something in it, and put a little water in it. Now we'll go over here, and there's my cheap rain barrel. It's I like to recycle the water. And right here, I want to show y'all, I had somebody, my husband was out in the front working, and I saw him working there and came through the gate back here and then came into the house. So he put this in here, and this is pretty simple. It's just got a bolt here, and you turn it and you can see how it pulls through. And then to keep the bolt so you can always put it back, just put it back there. Now that's an extra lock. Of course, I have this one down on the ground, but that sometimes don't seem good enough. So anyway, I just thought I'd tell you about that lock. Okay, I'm coming around the side. Now, yesterday, and I didn't video myself because it's getting hard for me to video myself, but I guess I'll have to learn. But over here where my husband put the trellises up, I've got a clematis planted there, and a red one, and I'm going to get another rose. I've run out of climbing rose. I'll get one more, put it right there. Okay, then over here, let me sit my coffee down. I've got a climbing rose and a clematis that's going to climb there. And I've got to get some labels. I got to figure out and make some homemade labels or buy some labels. I got to get some labels because I will forget what I got. Now, I've got daffodils, as you can see right there, coming up. And this is a clematis, purple one, coming up here. And this plant right here is a blackberry. And I plan on having some bunch of blackberries because it'll produce. It's that Navajo thornless. And I've had some grow before, and they do work. Okay, come right over here. This is actually a new part of my garden because right here I had a fence line going down, and this was all shaded. So I've never planted in here really. So now I've got this climber that is that Climbing Eden. It's pink, and hopefully I can get that one going. And see if you can see, I've got them down the line, which I'm excited about. Yeah, everybody make noise at one time. Anyway, I will probably do more over here, and I want to plant this yard up in the front, which I haven't planted it for years, into a cottage type garden, because that's what I want. I want a cottage garden. Now, yesterday I planted a rose here. This is a Floribunda angel face. I love angel face. And over here, I'll try to hurry up before that truck gets over here. And this is another Floribunda sentimental. And it would be nice for those two to be up here. I want to try to pack this ground up here with flowers and no dirt showing, if that's possible. I put 2 new pots up here with this bird bath because it's set up here for years all alone and nothing's been growing here but this monkey grass. So I'm going to try to do it all different, make it into a cottage garden. And I started out with this fence. Got this fence. I'd like to continue it totally around my yard, but the city here doesn't want me to do very much for fencing because I'm on a corner. And y'all, the ones that live on a corner know what I'm talking about. They won't let you grow trees. They won't let you grow anything at all that blocks any kind of view at all. So it's like we're all children driving, you know. You just drive down the road, open up big high speed, hard as you can, and nobody better be in the way. Anyway, I'll stop that. And up here, as y'all know, been fiddling around, and usually I keep my front of my yard very plain. I guess I was trying not to draw any attention to myself, but I've started messing with it now. And put a bunch of gotchis in here. And yesterday I bought I want y'all to see, I bought a frog with one eye. Which is ridiculous, but I bought a frog with one eye. And yeah, so I got the flag up since we're all voting. And let me get my coffee and go back around. There we go. And you've probably seen my barrel. You've probably seen my barrel. I'm crazy about this barrel. I had an open barrel and I'd have to empty it for the mosquitoes. But here's this one's pretty nice. It has this spigot where the water will come out. Well, I guess I've drained it all out. Guess I've used it all. Okay, anyway, it needs to rain. Anyhow, it catches the water off the gutters into here and fills up. And when it gets too full, the excess will come out right here, which is real nice. Keeps it closed from the mosquitoes or anything. And that other one, I actually have fish down in that other one to eat the mosquitoes. Okay. So I like what I'm doing so far. It might be simple to some folks, but I guess it's my world. Anyway, I'm gonna go back around here and I'm gonna close this gate so that nobody will come visiting without being invited. And it looks like I need to power wash this gate too. Okay, right here, put my screw back. There we go. Get my coffee. And now, I mentioned something about when spring comes and or warms up and you look at your backyard, especially if you've done so much in it like I have. You're like, oh my gosh, where am I going to start? Well, my husband comes out here and he starts by hacking and throwing stuff away. But I don't. I come out and I'm a child of the 50s. I'm a recycler. What can I make out of this? And that and the other. So anyway, I take a section at a time. For instance, I would take this section right here where I got this nice azalea, and I would clean up and cut up and get this all cleaned up. And that would be. And then I go to my next section over here. I've got some yellow bells. As you can see, they're probably going to open soon. And there's some over here. And this is a camellia right there. It was huge. It filled up this whole space, and the snow got it. And just, I thought it was dead. Cut it out, and really looked bad. So anyway, we cut it out. And this one here is a snowball, which if you ever plant one of those, get ready. You got to put it somewhere where it can have a lot of space. We cut it all back so the men could come in here and replace this fence here, which the neighbor had complained that it looked bad. So we replaced it, and it's not the first one we built. Not the first one that's been here. So it didn't look that bad. It was just she wanted it replaced. So we did. And I didn't want her to pay anything on it because I didn't want her to have any say so, I guess. Hey, if I pay for it, it's my fence. And you can't attach anything to it. Thank you. Okay, now, I'm sorry if I'm getting off a view of what I'm doing. I apologize for that. I'm not that good of a... I'm not that good with the phone or the camera. So, anyway, last summer, built this walk. One thing, I have such water that comes through here. It just flows. I get from all the neighbors back on the other side, and the water just busts through here. Just busts through here. I mean, it's like it's white capping. Anyway, it seems to have gotten worse as years go on. So anyhow, me and my husband put this together out of some fence boards, old fence boards, new fence boards, and this is a seat that was neighbor threw away, so I went and got it. I'm gonna paint it, maybe make it look a little better. Anyway, yesterday I actually planted some roses. One there, pretty peace. These are both peace. One's Chicago, one's a regular peace. I love the peace rose. Of course, these right here in front of me on this lattice is blackberries, like I talked about. Just love them. Of course, now the thick stone that the branches you see, that came off a tree. I use that for support for these vines. And that's this one here is one of those roses that I don't think much of, but I bought it and planted it. It's gosh, one of those new breed roses. Gosh, I can't think of the name of it right now. This is another Chicago peace. I love peace rose. And then this is a climber. Got this arbor here. It's cheap. Put it together. Ordered it through the Home Depot. Put it together, and I had Royal America on it. And I hope you do well. And this one over here is a red, so that's going to be creamy and red together. And I haven't come in here and cleaned out anything. This is the irises that are going to come up. And this is Rebecca sitting in behind it. Now, if you want to start a plant, the white irises are good because the rodents in the ground won't eat them. And they won't eat the Rebecca either. So that's two good things. Now I've got, this is Rebecca here. This is my main bed that I take from. You know, you can have a spot where you take from and spread. Well, that's what this is. This is it's just full of Rebecca in here, and I scoop from it and transfer. And that's what I'll do up front. You know, I'll take some of these plants here and move up front since they're so dependable. And this used to be right in here, circle, and all the beds. It used to be full of roses, and like I told you before, I lost them all to rodents, and I finally just gave up, and they finished them on off. So I've got a lot to do here, and this right here is another trellis. It's just made out of old stuff I had anyway. Now, I did buy these, put them in, along with this here, and I spray painted it. And at first, you know, I just had string up and down, and then I got some branches, like I did over there, and I tied them to it. And then I found I had old trellises stuck behind my storage building, and I got those. But this is the best spot for tomatoes. Little tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. I had every variety last summer, and I didn't know what to do with all of them, so I ground them up in a blender and made sauce with them. And every time I cooked something tomatoey, I poured some of that in it, and it was just wonderful. So anyway, and over here, this is the daffodils I planted, might be 20 years ago or more. I had this whole thing covered in them. Don't know where the others went, but I imagine I'll start filling it in again. Fill my garden back in again. Don't give up. So anyway, this is just a short walkabout that I'm doing. I thought that I would go over to Lowe's and get me some more roses. They seem to have them on sale, and I really like those little pink carnations they had. So anyway, I'm probably going to stop right here. I'm glad y'all taken the time to watch my poor effort at trying to make videos. So if everyone would be patient, I can't say that I'll get any better. It might be too late for me, but anyway, it was great talking to everybody, and I'd like to, you know, hear what some of you have to say. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.